As a formal welcome speech from the principal, first I'd like to welcome our chief guest, Professor T.B. Subba. Welcome you, sir, from the Northeastern Hill University. We have in the dais Professor S.C. Roy, our head education, Dr. Seema Saigal, head social science, and Dr. Professor B.R. Dakkar, Dean Research. And we have our faculty of the dais. I welcome all of you along with my dear participant students and all the participants coming from different part of the India. So I welcome all of you for this 2 days national conference. You can say seminar on integration of indigenous knowledge in the school curriculum. This is our theme of this national seminar. Besides offline, we have this seminar in a hybrid mode. Those are joined through online, I welcome all of you along with our Honorable Director Professor Dinesh Prasad Chaklani. I welcome you, sir, for this 2 days national conference. And as all of you know, these particular topics for 2 days, we will have discussion from our participants and their presentation. We can able to understand many things of traditional knowledge which can be incorporated in the school curriculum. As already our program moderator explained, Dr. Seema Saigal, about the importance of traditional knowledge, as because the NEP 2020 stress mainly on these things about how we can able to incorporate it. And we know that our NCERT with its various departments, mainly the curriculum divisions, already having some big program how to incorporate the traditional knowledge in the school curriculum, and that division generally develop the curriculum framework. So in this way, different conference, seminars, different programs under the program advisory committee which can able to produce materials which will be incorporated in future for our school curriculums. Thank you, all of you which are present here, and welcome I again for this 2 days national conference. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
The coordinator of this program. The backdrop of this program is naturally, as was mentioned by Dr. Seema Saigal, the National Education Policy 2020. The National Education Policy 2020 is a game changer in this 21st century India. It is going to be a game changer in the coming years. It has brought significant structural changes in the educational system, right from the early childhood care and education to the higher education, and also the philosophical dimensions have been added to this policy. And the policy envisages that with the help of this game changer, path breaking initiative in this country in the 21st century, the country is going to be the world leader in the coming years. A hub of the knowledge of building society, and a very, very vibrant society, a leading society, and becoming the world Vishwaguru. And those things are very minutely incorporated in this policy. Now, one of the building blocks of this policy is that the future citizen should be rooted to the Indian soil, the Indian culture, and they should have pride in Indianness, the pride in Indian culture, the Indian ethos. That is one of the building blocks of this national education policy. India, as Dr. Seema has mentioned, has thousands of years of cultural heritage, thousands of years of the civilizational treasure, the knowledge, bank, the traditions, and advancements in different spheres of life. Thousands of years, thousands of years. One of the oldest civilizations in the world. And not only that, India is a vast country. We have different geographical, linguistic, cultural diversities in this country. This is one country where a potato can be cooked in dozens of ways. This is one of the countries where different languages, if you go to one part to another part, you will find different languages, different tones, different tenors, different dresses, different culture, traditions, rituals, etc., etc. It's that kind of, and still there is something inherent, a common thread binding all of them together and making them one India. So the Indianness lying within this diversity is to be understood, through different cultures, different languages, different traditions, different rituals, different practices, etc., etc.
Innovations, whether you talk about the architectural temples, or you talk about their forestry, environmental conditions, and then expose our children to these tourist places to get into, grasp what has been got into India as a nation. So friends, the only problem with this knowledge is, this knowledge has been neglected for ages. In the pursuit of scientific knowledge, the traditional birth of wisdom is absolutely neglected. And thereby we find it difficult to connect the traditional knowledge with the scientific knowledge. And thereby the problems that we are facing today.
Some of my achievements were blown out of proportion, but thanks nonetheless. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to Professor Bothakur, the principal of NERIE, Professor Subhas Roy, the coordinator, Dean Professor Dakar, the faculty members of NERIE, the participants of this seminar, the students of NERIE, and ladies and gentlemen. This is my first visit to NERIE, and I'm quite impressed by the kind of, although very limited, but the very nice infrastructure that has come up already. I'm here as a surrogate Vice Chancellor of Northeast Indian University, because the Vice Chancellor is out of station and I'm looking after this office, and this is how I'm here. But I'm glad that I'm here because I came to know a little bit about this sunny part of Meghalaya, and the road to this place is quite nice, I mean, compared to some of the roads in Meghalaya. I would, before I begin my talk, which will evolve as I speak, I would like to seek apology if I start coughing in between. The coughing problem hasn't really gone away from my system, although I was tested both positive and then later on negative for Omicron early in January this year. So if I start coughing, I might just take a break and have some hot water, so that will also give you a break. It's a great idea to integrate indigenous knowledge to primary education curriculum. I think there's really no doubt about it. This is also in sync with the global movement going on, which is called decolonization of curriculum. Curriculums are being decolonized everywhere, in almost every university in the world, and definitely in universities like Oxford and Cambridge, but also universities in countries like Brazil, Mexico, South Africa, and you name it. And decolonization movement has begun in India as well now. And now we're talking about decolonizing our curriculum, which we believe is heavily colonial. And we want to get not completely rid of the colonial part of the curriculum, but to remove it from our curriculum to the extent it's possible for us to do that. We have at least the official position is this, that the colonial curriculum can be replaced with indigenous curriculum, indigenous knowledge curriculum. Now, to what extent that is possible is something that remains to be seen. It not only depends on a clarity about what is indigenous knowledge across the country, but also clarity among scholars and students about what is indigenous knowledge. And though we keep talking about indigenous knowledge systems, indigenous knowledge, or traditional knowledge sometimes, we do not have clarity. This is something that I would like to begin with. We in India also are talking about replacing the colonial curriculum with indigenous curriculum, but let me tell you that there's no clarity about what is indigenous in India. Indigenous or indigeneity, I'm trying to recall because I wrote a book on indigeneity in India way back in 2006. It was published by Kegan Paul in London. So I was looking for this book yesterday, but somehow I didn't have time. I had a couple of meetings to conduct, so I'm trying to recall what I wrote in that book. Indigeneity, if I remember correctly, has 4 meanings. Okay, the first is indigenous people refer to, first of all, the first settlers, the first people in any given geographical territory.
पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उच्चल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नाम